All right, what do you say we do some shaving cream beds? So, I use this just comes from the dollar store, as cheap as you can find it. And this is 11 ounces. It's just the biggest can that they have at the dollar store. So this is obviously $1. And I'm hoping that I can get, 3 or 4 good sized beds out of a can. This can is already somewhat used, so we're going to start with a new can. This also comes in a red. This blue stuff is sensitive. I don't know if there's a difference between the blue and the red as far as thickness goes. Doesn't matter. I just use whichever one I like the smell of at the given time, what I want the workshop to smell like. So I'm going to shake it up. These pans are very cheap, 99 cents to $2 ultimate frisbees from Academy Sports, and they make a really great dish for shaving cream beds, what we're trying to do here. So I've got a couple lined up. We'll do 3 at once and see how this works. Maybe a couple of different techniques on each. I'll decide as we do them. All right, so pop the cap off. And for this one, we're going to do the standard mound in the center bed. So, and I just rotate this little guy, and I guess that's good enough. It's enough. Doesn't take much. It does expand, and as you're going to see, we get it wet, a little bit wet when we put the dye on, and it kind of makes it foam out, and we'll see all that stuff. All right, so let's do this one. I want to do the dyes kind of all at the same time together. So for a moment, we're just going to do that. On this one, what I'm going to do is, let's go with the edge. Or call it a ring, if you will. Yeah, like that. Stuff makes a right mess, I'll tell you what. But the nice thing is that the shaving cream, real easy to clean up. So not worried about it, and it's pretty much soap. So no harm done. We'll do this ring. And in this one, we're going to do something a little bit different, a little special. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do the half and half. So, well, yeah, we'll do the half and half. So that means I'm going to put shaving cream over here. And going to use a lotion. This is the same thing I used when I do the marble dyes. The Queen Helene cocoa butter from Walmart. And I'm going to put this down in half of it, like that. I think that'll work. Kind of shake that around a little bit to get it. Just even. Just like that. Okay, so let's do this mound first. Well, we're going to do them all kind of at the same time, but I'll show you what's going on. So here I just have some iDye powders. This is just straight out of the packet iDye poly, and this is the yellow. This one's the yellow, and it's just the powder in these little specimen cups that I've got. So I kind of like to start with the lightest one. Doesn't really matter, but that's the way I do it. So I've got a little brush, little angled brush. Well, you can't really see it in the light. Okay, it's just this little brush with soft bristles. Okay, and this is how we're going to apply the powder. It's real easy. So on this one, I'll take the yellow and I just touch it. Just touch it to the powder, and then kind of just sprinkle. I just hit the handle and kind of sprinkle it on. It really doesn't take much. So I don't know how well you can see that, but it's just a really light dusting on it. I mean, I'll show you. If you do that and you wind up with a real dark spot like that of dye, that's too much as far as I'm concerned. That will actually be pretty intense. So, but it's okay, because I mean, this is the yellow and it doesn't hit it too hard. When you start getting into the darker colors and you hit a big spot like that, it makes quite a statement. All right, so while I'm doing this and I have the yellow out, I'll just do all of them. So again, we reach in there and we just barely pick any up and kind of sprinkle it around wherever you want it. I mean, if you want it heavy on one side or the other side, it's up to you. This is where the creativity comes in, and you're never going to get the same thing twice. All right. And I mean, the yellow is one of my favorites, just so because I know it's hard to overdo the yellow, and I'm sort of colorblind, so don't tell anybody. And when I'm out there throwing anything like that, I pick up the yellow easier. This one is orange. We didn't do any yellow to this last one. Hang on. I'm not used to doing multiples at once. So this one we're going to do kind of like I'm going to try and do a sunburst thing. So at least that's what I've got in my head. We're going to start out that way. Well, I just did it, but I was going to say for the lotion, I'm not going to put any powder in the lotion, even though I just did by accident. But that's going to be reserved for the liquid dyes. We'll go over that in a little bit. Okay, orange. My daughter doesn't like the way I say orange, so whatever. Okay, orange. On this one for the sunburst, we're going to go in there. And then, I don't know if you can still see these. Yeah, you can still see it. I'm just going to put some orange on that one. Put a couple of spots in here. There we go. Done. Red. Pretty straightforward. Red. Put this one right in the middle where I'm expecting kind of like the sun to be. Ooh, got kind of carried away on that one. And it's pretty straightforward. I don't have green powder, so I'm going to experiment at some point with mixing some yellow and blue powders together to see how well they work. This is the blue. Either that or just pick up some green powder. I know they make it, I know it exists because I have green that I've already mixed with water in the iDye poly. I don't have it here in front of us, but I know they have it, I know they make it. I just need to get another packet of powder. All right, that was blue and violet. This one's one of my favorites. And for those of us that are less concerned about it, it's purple. And I really got a big spot right there. So we'll see what that does, but that's a little heavy-handed. Did it again. So creativity, right? All right, now the only thing that we haven't done yet is this lotion. So this is kind of a little plus, because I've only do this once in a while, but this is where we take the syringe out and we use a liquid dye. So I'm going to do yellow here. And this is Rit Synthetic. You got to use the synthetics if you want your dye to stay absorb into these discs. So yellow. And I'm just going to put droplets on. And that's it. I'm not going to go crazy with it. You know, and that's actually pretty heavy. I have a little orange. My daughter hates the way I say orange, so because I don't pronounce the O very well, I guess. She'll yell at me when she sees this video. No, Dad, it's orange, not orange. Okay, whatever you say, sweetie. Racing red. And what this is going to, the effect that I'm hoping for here on the bottom of this one is kind of just a little marbling tint. This one is super pink. And, you know, for this small area, I'm putting this on fairly heavy. I mean, this is almost too much, what I'm doing right there. But, you know, you'll see what the effect turns out to be. This one is green. This is a peacock green. Let's put a couple of drops of that in there. It's a sapphire teal, or tropical teal. Tropical teal. I mixed it up because my next one is called Sapphire. Sapphire blue. And if you notice, I'm not rinsing the syringe between colors because I am going from lightest to darkest. If I was doing this randomly or whatever, I would be washing it out really good, just between colors. And this one is graphite. It's as black as you're going to get. So I'm going to put that one kind of down here near the edge. All right. Let's figure out what discs we're going to use here. Actually, before we do that, very important, and I forget this sometimes, and you know, it works out to different effects. But this is just water, and we're going to just spray water. I'm going to get these out of the way because just in case I don't want to get these wet. And not worried about the lotion and the liquid dye yet, but we're going to put some water on the iDye powder and shaving cream. And as you can see, it really intensifies. You know, it liquefies, intensifies. There you go. Okay, I'll do that on these other ones. There we go. It's hard to overdo the water, but you know, as long as you get the dye kind of, you know, good and wet, I think we're in good shape. Okay, good. All right, now we pick our discs. This one is a Legacy Rampage. Yeah, Rampage. Distance driver, 14 speed. Oh my gosh. With a 4 fade, holy cow, is this thing overstable. It's going to take quite an arm to get this thing going. So let's just do the standard mound on this one. All right, so the point here is that we're just going to put the disc on, and the shaving cream is going to spread out, and as it spreads out, it's going to make streaks starting in the center and spreading out towards the edges. And we're not going to push this down. We're just going to kind of let the weight of the disc just sort of do its thing, and I just sort of guide it down. And that's it. And what's going to happen is that as the water and the shaving cream kind of mix, the shaving cream is going to collapse more. The discs are going to wind up going down to the bottom. The shaving cream is going to do its thing. It's probably going to come up even around the edges and dye the sides. All right. The last thing I'm going to do about that is put the time on it. So right now it's, gosh, well, my phone is being used as a camera, so I think it's about, we'll just say 9 o'clock. Doesn't matter to you guys. But I put the time on these things. Just kind of put it over here. And that's so I know, you know, 10 to 12 hours on these. I don't want to get them too dark. Whereas the lotion and the Rit dye, I usually let sit for 12 to 14 hours. On the iDye polys, they don't seem to take as long, so I'm going to let that one sit maybe 10 hours. That's why I put the time on it, and we're going to move this one over. Now we're going to do the ring. Okay, shaving cream ring. Ooh, this would be cool. West Side Tarsus with an octopus on it. How's that sound? 5.5, -2.1. Sounds like a good disc that I could probably throw. So we have no stickers on it. It's clean. We're going to do the ring on this one. And, you know, the ring may be spread out a little too much here. But I want to try and, on this one, I'm going to try and keep the stamp as clean as possible. So, I mean, if you want, you can take your little skewer and just kind of push some stuff around. You know, like push this closer into the middle or whatever. It doesn't matter. You know, whatever you want to do. It's not going to hurt it. Okay, so just going to do the same thing. Just sort of set this one right there. And over the course of the day, it'll sink down. The shaving cream will spread in and out at the same time from the ridge. And we'll see what happens with that. And put a time on it. I know all these are going to get, you know what, I'm not going to put the time on all of them because I know that I'm doing all at the same time. All right. Let's bring this one over. And, okay, so what's unique about this is, let's find a good disc to do it on. Here's one. How about a Octo Keystone putter? Why not, you know? So what this one's going to do is we're going to set the disc in here and just sort of lean it on the shaving cream. Shaving cream's going to hold it up. So it's not really going to be in contact with the lotion dye. But the shaving cream is going to collapse and let that disc fall, and as it does, it will then come in contact with the dye at the bottom. And you know what? Let's just kind of mix this up a little bit, make some streaks in it. Just for fun. All right, so just going to set it right here and sort of let it do that. And what's going to happen is that's going to collapse. The dye is going to come up and around. It's going to let it hit the, there's a little bit of contact you can see. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, but you see how the dark is coming through just a little bit at the bottom? That's where it's touching the lotion. As it collapses, it'll lay down. It'll come in contact with the lotion. And we're going to get, hopefully, a pretty neat effect. So 9 a.m., you know, 10 hours ahead of time, maybe not even that much because I did put a substantial amount of dye on these things. And it's just room temperature. I'm not setting these on a warming rack or by the windows or anything like that. So, you know, 8 to 10 hours, I'll pull these back out and we'll take a look at them. All right, it's that time. Yeah. It's 6:30-ish, almost 7 o'clock. So these discs that I put in at 9 a.m., they've been sitting for about 9.5, 10 hours. I think that's enough for these. I mean, sometimes I'd do it more like 12 to 14, but this is pretty intense on these iDye poly on the shaving cream. So we're going to start with the standard shaving cream mound. And normally I would take them to the sink and rinse them off, but because I want to film without the noise of running water or anything, I just brought a tub of water here, 9 a.m., and we're going to rinse them off here. So this is what I was talking about, that the shaving cream would expand and foam up and kind of sometimes crawl over the edge of the disc. This one didn't do it too much. It did it a little bit on this side, on the end, but from looking at the other ones here on the table, it'll definitely show that it crawled more over. Okay, so if I remember right, this was the shaving cream mound in the center, and it just went down and spread out. So let's see what we got here. All right, so here we go. As you can see, there's not much on the back. Crawled over a little bit here on the edge. Can you see this? Yeah. And a little bit over here. But for the most part, all it did is we got it fairly well centered, and then as the disc sunk, the dye spread, the shaving cream spread, and it had the dye on it. So it just sort of gave us that look, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think there's a lot of good colors in there where they kind of mixed, you know, so there's good separation between the colors. Still got a little white sitting over here. I kind of like it. All right, well, that's one. That's your standard shaving cream mound. So let's put that one aside. Okay, this second one This was the one where we just did the ring. So the center should be fairly light or blank, but we should have some lines going in towards the center and some lines going out towards the edge. And we'll see. Now this one did definitely crawl much more over the edge, as you can see here. So, I mean, this almost came down and all the way went inside the disc. So we'll see if that got colored up on us. But here we go. Oh, you're gonna like this one. Look at that. Trying to get the foam off. All right. That's pretty cool. I like how this streaked down in here. And remember, we didn't have green powder, so you know, the blues and the yellows started mixing pretty nicely in here, and that's where we got these greens. Over here where this purple was, there might have been, I don't know, some grease on the disc or some air bubbles or something like that. Just the dye didn't completely touch everything. So, but yeah, this is where we put that ring down here, and you can see how it's streaked in and out at the same time. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. All right, get all the foam off of that. Okay, now this last one here, this is where we did the half and half. So we had the shaving cream on the top half, or on one half of the disc, and we have lotion on the other half. And as you can see, the disc, as the shaving cream collapsed, the disc sort of laid down and made contact with the lotion dyes, or the dyes on the lotion. And it did crawl over the edge, the back edge here. So we'll take a look at all that. And here we go. This one's going to take a little more rubbing since it has the lotion dyes, or the lotion on it. It gets really kind of sticky and takes a little bit extra to clean it off. But yeah, this was the Keystone, and take a look at this. Okay, so as you can see, it's sort of, this is where the dye powders on the shaving cream spread out this way. I wasn't expecting anything to come this way. And down here is where we had the lotion, and where it contacted the lotion, and it contacted here first, and then, or here first, and then it laid down into it, and it just sort of marbled. So to me, it looks like a sunset over the ocean, and the sunset reflecting off the water and everything. And that's kind of the look that I was hoping to go for. And as you can see here, on the shaving cream side, this is where it crawled over the back and gives you that wraparound look. I really do like that. And we got a little bit on the, since we had to set this edge so steeply in the lotion, it got a little dye down here too. So that's what that looks like. And I'm going to dry these up, dry these off, and get another batch going. I don't know if we're going to do all the same kind of things, but that's what it all turns out to be like. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just comment below and I'll do what I can for you. Have a good day.